blank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo. Party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rock in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime joint, the Knicks at Night podcast. Salute to everyone watching us on X. Salute to everyone watching us on YouTube. Salute to all the members of the channel. Thank y'all for y'all continued support. So I have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Tori B is in the building. Salute. What's good?
Good morning, good evening.
Good morning, good evening. Right. Right. For all my Caribbeans, good night.
Right, good night.
For all my Caribbeans out there. So I have quite a few thoughts that I want to share with everyone. I'm going to ask y'all to kind of be patient with me as I try to excuse that, y'all. Man, I'm on a med and it got me feeling kind of funky, but I'm going to ask y'all to be patient with me as I try to dispense my thoughts and parse the particulars in a way that's palatable, easy to understand, and ask you to be gracious enough to be patient with me as I try to figure it out, what it is that I'm trying to say, right? So here goes. The Knicks paid a hefty price to bring in Jose Alvarado, right? But they got their man. They got the guy that they targeted, right? Whether Deuce was healthy or not healthy, I think Jose Alvarado was probably on the radar for the Knicks, regardless of health. Now, with that, I think Deuce McBride's health played into a major reason why the Knicks got as aggressive as they did to get their guy. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. So the Knicks get their guy, and I'm just gonna ask Jay. Salute. I'm gonna ask y'all to be patient with me while I try to unclog the drain, so to speak, with all these thoughts that are to and fro. Right. I tried to write it down. I'm going to try to read what I wrote at the same time. My thoughts kind of shift back and forth as I contemplate what it is that I'm feeling. Right. So I'm gonna just try to read it, right? When the Knicks made the move to bring in Jose Alvarado, the reaction from fans was immediate and emotional, not because Alvarez is a star, but because moves like this feel like they're about something else. And in this case, the first name anyone jumped to was Deuce McBride. So let's slow down and actually think it through. And this is what I was explaining when I first got here. If y'all bear with me as I unclog the drain, so to speak. So let's slow it down and actually think it through. Because this isn't just about Jose Alvarado, it's about roles, timelines, and trust. And what the Knicks are quietly telling us about where this season is headed. First, let's talk about what Alvarado actually is. Jose Alvarado is chaos.
Yeah.
Jose Alvarado is the bumblebee at the picnic, so to speak, right? So control chaos, but chaos nonetheless. He's an energy guard who changes the temperature of a game the moment he checks in. Full court pressure, disruptive hands. Annoying is the best possible way to describe Jose Alvarado. He doesn't dominate the ball. He doesn't need plays called for him. He doesn't care if his box score is ugly as long as the opposing guard is uncomfortable. Now that matters a lot, right? Because the Knicks have lacked at times this season, because what the Knicks lacked at times this season isn't talent, it's disruption. They had stretches of games that felt too orderly, too predictable. Alvarado breaks the rhythm. He forces mistakes, he creates moments. Now, the big question is, what does this mean for Deuce? We know Deuce is out injured, everybody. We know Deuce is out injured. And this is the reason why I'm at a place. My bad, y'all. Like I was telling Tori B earlier, Jay, the doctor gave me some medication earlier, and it kind of got me like going both ways, man. Like to the bathroom and trying to keep good posture at the same time, right? But anyways,
I thought you got in your feelings and just checked out for a second.
nah, it's kind of it ain't quite that. It's not quite that, but I am in a moment of I'll get to it. How does this affect Deuce? Now, here's the honest answer. It doesn't mean Deuce is gone. This is my long-term thought, right? Because if you have Alvarado, what do you need with Deuce? Or if you have Deuce, what do you need with Alvarado, right? But it does mean the Knicks are no longer operating as Deuce is the golden child, right? And that's an important distinction. Deuce McBride has earned the respect in this league. He's a legitimate defender and leader and person. Like one of the things I want to stress is Deuce McBride is a great person, right? A great leader. Deuce McBride is a man, right? Alvarado, on the other hand, is disruptive by design. Alvarado is New York City. Alvarado is the New York City story, right? Where you're born with not enough, but you fight your way through with any resources that you can scrape, borrow, and steal in order to be successful. That's the New York City story, right? That's it. Because New Yorkers tell me all the time, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, the sweetest place on earth. but New Yorkers tell me all the time, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's what they tell me all the time, right? Deuce McBride is a system defender, very disciplined, right? Very coachable, very predictable. Deuce McBride will kind of remind you of, without the three-point shooting, of course, but Deuce McBride will remind you of the steadiness that Charlie Ward brought to those 90s Knicks teams, where Charlie Ward wasn't going to be loud and obnoxious, right? He was rock steady. You knew you were going to get hardcore defense and 10 points a game every night from Charlie Ward. You knew that's what you were getting, right? Jose Alvarado is the Tunnel. If you remember, anybody remember that club, the Tunnel? Jose Alvarado was that. I don't know Alvarado personally. We'll get to learn Jose Alvarado as a person and as a man, as you know, as we get closer to him and we get to see him more. I speak about that about Deuce because we have legitimately 4 or 5 years of up close interaction with Deuce. That's how we know who Deuce is. I don't know Jose Alvarado like that, as opposed to just what I see on the court. So I'm describing Deuce as the total package that I see, and I'm describing Jose Alvarado from what I see from afar. Right? Is that fair? No. But is it fair to this conversation that me being upfront about Jose Alvarado? Yes, is absolutely fair. Because I'm not going to make up stuff about Jose Alvarado, and I'm not going to lie about Jose Alvarado. I'm just going to speak to the truth as we've seen it from a distance. Right? Now, the question isn't who's better, is what does this team need more of right now? And the answer is a disruptive guard that's going to be a point of attack defender against every ball handler we face in the NBA, despite the size, right? So if it's a little guard, if it's Tyrese Maxey, Jose Alvarado. If it's LaMelo Ball, it's Jose Alvarado, right? Now, they're protecting themselves against injury and fatigue and matchups that demand more ball pressure, right? Were the Knicks as active at the trade deadline as we thought? Absolutely, they were active. Did they pull the trigger on some things that we thought they would do? No, they didn't. They didn't, because those deals were not there to be made. They wanted to, but the deals were not there to be made. For instance, Dallas offered the Knicks the same package for Anthony Davis that they offered around the league, right? They offered Anthony Davis in that package for Cat, and the Knicks turned it down, right? That was reported by, I forget who reported it. It's not, I don't have an insider, but I saw that come across my phone, and y'all forgive me for not knowing the source, because I like giving the sources of stuff credit, right? Here's the thing. Did Mike Brown ask for more of this? Did Mike Brown go to the front office and say, hey, this is what we need? If it is, kudos to Mike Brown for identifying the need and trusting the front office to go get what he needs, right? My concern in my heart is that the Knicks are not going to keep both Alvarado and Deuce once all of this is over, right? But when you consider what the Knicks paid, and in the grand scheme of things, if we're talking about the top end of the roster, they didn't pay anything for Alvarado, right? They paid a bench player, cash considerations, and 2 second-round picks. Basically, that's basically what they traded. Dalen Terry, 2 second-round picks, and cash considerations, right? Right. At the end of this, does this mean that the Knicks may part ways with Deuce? Or does it mean the Knicks intend to keep Alvarado long term and diminutive guards is going to be how we operate going forward with small, fast lineups? If you're a fan of small, fast lineups, right? If you're a fan of small, fast lineups, this is indeed where you are. Right? This is what you're looking for. In the short term, this looks like on the surface to me like the casino at the end of the night, and all you won was like you won about $500, and you ready to go get one of those early breakfast buffets, like 5 a.m. when they first start breakfast, and you just want to do something with that $500 and then go eat, right?
Yep.
In the macro, it looks like they targeted this man because they know in the playoffs, certain types of guards give the Knicks issues, right? But at the same time, what does this mean when Deuce gets back? Does this mean Alvarado, Brunson, and Deuce all play, and you move a certain player to the bench? Does this mean there is a Landry Shamet shakeup? Does this mean a rotation shakeup that we can't anticipate because Deuce is out and we won't see the two of them play for quite some time? Right? So while I congratulate the front office for doing the best that they can at a trade deadline that was more smoke than fire, in the grand scheme of things, as a member of the Deuce McBride fan club, as a person, it puts me in a place where I'm thinking like, hey man, a rotation of 4 very short guards is gonna be treacherous in an NBA that's looking to get taller and taller and taller all the time. So chat, that's what's on my mind. I didn't intend to put a rock into anybody's shoe. I did want to tell you how I was feeling, the thoughts that were on my mind. And I wanted to say it in a way that everybody understands this is not me creating a narrative or trying to create something to talk about. This is me sharing my thoughts and hoping that you will share your thoughts as well. Now, with all of that said and out the way, let me introduce the family, Tori B, and a place to be, representing the Bronx, New York, the greatest borough God ever created, Jay Chosen, national recording artist in the building, diehard Mets fan in the building. Y'all already know what it is. And y'all ready to chop this thing up? Y'all got something on your mind?
Yeah, I do now that I've listened to your soliloquy. um, I'm of the mindset that Alvarado may not even have been here if Deuce wasn't hurt, and if he was here, he was here to play ahead of Kolick and not anybody else
Okay.
because they had trust issues with him going into the playoffs, and they just felt like they needed to shore up a ball handler.
Okay.
And if you look at what happened with Kolick and when Deuce and Shamit came back into the lineups because they both were out, and Kolick was getting extended time. Mike Brown took that time right back away from him when they both got back into the lineup. So I don't foresee anything being different, with the exception of the fact that I don't think his minutes will diminish completely, especially if he's playing well going into the playoffs. But I don't think he'll play ahead of either Deuce or Shannon once Deuce come back.
Okay.
All you have to do is look at what we already had. We've
Okay.
been in this situation already.
Okay. Understood.
And
Understood.
I mean, I don't know enough about Alvarado. I mean, the, the issue with him is what we have all year is height, right? But we on a 9-game win streak with these same short guards.
Right.
So I'm not going to keep pressing and stressing over the fact that they not tall enough, because I just think that's something to complain about, because I think we're still winning. So the height obviously is not a huge issue, because it's not like we're not playing big lineups and still winning. I'm not going down that path with everybody. That's not a big issue for me. In the beginning of the season, they was complaining we can't beat Orlando because they're big. We can't beat this one because they're big, and we beat them. So I'm not stressing myself out about how tall they are because they can't grow. This is the team we got.
Right. What you thinking, Jay?
A lot of things. I wasn't thinking that many things until you unleashed. Uh, so we went from a beautiful run, looking steady and nice, finally finding a place for Kolick to play. Um, the young man that's out now has been out a few times in Deuce, and then Hart wasn't there. During that time in the beginning, we managed to be one game out of first place, then go ahead and win the Emirates Cup. Immediately following the Emirates Cup, and when Deuce was back, Coley, um, yeah, I thought I made that noise. Maybe I heard like a rap song from '88 just happening in my head. What I was gonna say is that so I thought that when we came out of the Emirates Cup and Deuce came back and totally stopped playing Kolick, with Deuce was playing fantastic. So everything I'm about to say has nothing to do with Deuce. It has everything to do with Brown. We plummeted. Prior to that, I mean, he was making ballsy moves, pulling Bridges out for Kolick to come in and play at that last game to win the Emirates Cup. Kolick was a just fine point guard to come in, right? And they're different players, right? That I view Deuce more as a two guard, right? The two guard, and Alvarado and Kolick is our point guards, and Brunson is a two guard. In my eyes, he's a combo guard, right? He's a score first guard. Um, the moment he that Kolick was removed from the lineup and everything started changing, he started toying with the lineup a little bit. We plummeted into a 2-9. We went on this 9-game. I'm giving us more than we got. Where we got 8-game winning streak. We did more than half of that without Deuce. Right now, And again, I want to remind you that what I said from the beginning, this has nothing to reduce. I had a conversation earlier with Tori about, it's unfortunate because he was hitting the three beautiful. He was pesky, defensively is pesky. But when you put natural point guards onto the floor with other people and you give them enough minutes, just like the same thing happened when we gave Diawara extra minutes, you see that they could actually play. So we have won this long winning streak without Deuce. So right now, and now we don't have Deuce. Usually in my life or in things in certain situations, I just deal with what's in front of me at the moment. Like right now, it's about getting to the playoffs and being the best team that we could be with the people that we have right now, and then crossing the bridge when we get there. Once we get back, I said this the other night. When you have a player go down, and that player has certain abilities, in this case, shoots the three. I'm talking about Deuce now. Shoots the three well. Um, a little pesky defender, always running. We watched him grow up here in New York. We watched him grow up into that man that you're talking about. Quiet off the court. Definitely not one for the talking and the trouble, like you said.
Huge Cowboy Bob fan.
What do you say?
Deuce, the huge Cowboy Bob fan.
Yeah.
Is Cowboy Bob is his good luck charm.
Yeah, that is always gonna be hilarious to me, y'all.
So
Deuce meet Cowboy Bob, and all of a sudden he can't miss from three. That's all I'm saying.
so here's the deal. I know that I felt like it was strange that we didn't I'm gonna attack this question at hand first and then we'll go into what I feel after. We just got a guy from New York who's gonna play his ass off to be here in New York. He's gonna be erratic at times. He's going to, like you said, he's not going to demand for a position to be cut out for him. He's just going to be part of it. But part of him is something I call a necessary chaos. So when you were saying that chaos, there is there is sometimes like too much chaos is no good at all. Horrible. But we have been lacking the one thing that we have been saying all year is we've been lacking the guys that will go out there and this guy's gonna stay in front of anybody he's guarding. This guy is going to take the ball out of the biggest man's hand, or Beef Stew put his hand up like that. He's gonna put both his hands back up at all 5'11" of them and grab the ball out of his hand. I'm okay with him over here, and I can only deal with what's in front of me at the moment. So they have to go back to the lab now and see how it works out. And we don't really have practice time for that, right? There's the league's running, but we do have a break coming up. So I expect them to really get it together with Jose and have them work out with certain lineups and certain people. Most people take off, they go with their family, whatever. I don't see that with this young man. I think he's going to get right into the gym with some of the coaches and whoever is willing to be there with them. And I'm okay. I'm telling you this, for Deuce going down, I'm happy that we immediately got a pesky defending, not afraid to mix it up, not afraid to slash, not afraid to pass. Definitely not afraid to pass. And I'm okay with it, you know. I have to be okay with it, right? This is like, I don't know if you ever broke a foot or you ever broke a finger or you ever did. You can't take it back. You have to be okay with it, and just when it heals, it heals. Um, the only thing that puzzled me with this whole thing is that we only, well, the front office is funny because props to them for getting Yabu out of here without having to give up anything, and then turning a guy who was probably not going to play.
Y'all ever watch Judge Matt?
I didn't hear what you said.
Go ahead, bro. You good?
Oh, what I was going to say to you is, I'm a little surprised that they didn't go after a little more height. To be honest with you, I was looking for them to go after some height alongside Alvarado. You know, I don't know what that's going to be, but let's not forget that what's that now? The that group of players that are going to be,
The buyout market.
yeah, you can look out for that, because that's a strong possibility for the Knicks right now, big time. So I thought a bunch of different things were going to happen, but I'm gonna have to be okay with it, because if not, then I'm just going to be, anxious and filled with angst and wonder, and I don't want to be that way. Deuce ain't here. When he comes back, we'll welcome him back.
Okay.
That's the best.
Okay.
That's all we can do, really.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice. Last thing, it's nice to know that that we won these games without him being there for the majority of the games, and when he comes back, it will be like a free agent coming back who could shoot threes and be a pesky defender. So I really am okay with it right now. I'm not okay as hurt, but I have to be okay with where we are.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's definitely a spot to be in, bro. As a fan, or you know what? Let me say, as a content creator, I hear you guys all the time, right? Like, even when I ask, and this is to the chat, even when I ask the chat a direct question, y'all will nudge my question aside to let me know how you feel about what you are feeling, right? One of the things that we mention is size and desperation to win a championship, desperation for the team to be relevant, respect, on the grand stage from not only the people in the NBA inner circles, but from people in the outer circles, the media, and even non hardcore. I'll call them softcore fans. Even softcore fans, you want to get respect from them too, right? Um, and while I don't have a problem with what Leon Rose did at the trade deadline, because I'm sure they were aggressive. Um, Uncle Freezy can't say I can't and live with myself say, man, you should have got me Giannis, and then at the same time say, in Leon we trust. Right? That's how I personally feel. How everybody else feels, you have a right to feel that way as long as the outward emotes don't offend anyone else directly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, the Alvarado thing though, as a player, I'm looking forward to see what he brings to this new team that we're putting on the floor. Because clearly, though the personnel may look the same, the team and the way they move is different.
Yep.
The approach is different, right? The pieces, a lot of the pieces are the same, but who they are is different, and it happens. And I'm excited to see what Jose Alvarado is going to bring to the table to this group, because we are still discovering who this team is, even this deep into the winter, right? The spring will be here in about 8 weeks, maybe. Let me see if my math is right. Like 6 weeks, officially 6 weeks. We'll see the weather in like 8 weeks, and in that 8 week window is the time that determines who the pretenders are, right? And who the contenders are. And I'm excited to see Jose Alvarado help us morph into what I think we're going to be once the days get longer and the leaves start turning green. So what that means for what's here long term, I don't know. But I know in the short term, we're in for a ride. Tori B, what you thinking? Are you the same? You thinking the same? Or are we fully trusting, are we blindly trusting Mike Brown?
Well, I don't blindly trust Mike Brown at all. No, I
Because
don't
his
trust
shoe
him
game
no
is
more.
garbage. Mike Brown, yo.
It's still on site. I still want to fight him.
Right.
But I
We,
think these guys, in spite of him,
yep.
are playing really good basketball. So I think we're gonna be okay going forward. And that's my belief is mainly when we went on our first run, we did it without Shamit, right?
Yep.
And then Deuce got hurt, and Shamit came back, and then Deuce came back, and now Deuce is out again. I think that as long as at least one of those guys is available, we're gonna be fine. Alvarado's a great pickup because he's gonna take up the space that he's gonna fill that Deuce space. But I think we're gonna be fine going forward, and I think it's gonna be in spite of Mike Brown. I know I didn't like his rotations in the game, and we won. like so, um, he got a lot of work to do. I think the guys are gonna be fine. I think he got work to do, not necessarily the players, but him, because
Okay.
he been making some questionable moves out there, but we'll see what happens going forward. I mean, I think the guys that are together, which is why I'm happy that they kept the team together. I think they played together for a full season last year, so this year they know each other well enough to get past the nonsense that he's doing. Like, I think they're okay. I don't think they really need him. I think they're all right going forward without him. But I think we're gonna be good. I'm feeling good about my championship run again.
Just fine. I really don't feel,
We lost Freezy.
yeah. But that's, you listen, like we were saying
Yeah.
earlier,
Oh, then we lost
earlier.
me.
Can you hear me? Can the chat hear me? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat so I can hold it down for them until they get back. Anybody? 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 Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do while they're gone is I'm gonna say this. The players had a players only meeting and haven't lost since that players only meeting. No matter who's here, who's been hurt, who hasn't been hurt, who's who who's been in,
Okay.
who's not been in. So since that players only meeting, we have been running and gunning. So the chat, I want to know out of you, do you feel like whatever that went on in that meeting, the players are have kind of taken over, knowing that maybe they are also not as trusting in the coach, but in each other, and they feel more continuity, more a surety in each other because it shows on the court for sure,
Right.
And I definitely want to know because to me it feels like um, the moment they had that meeting, we haven't lost. So I definitely
So what's your takeaway from that? If they
that
haven't lost since that meeting, so what is it? Are you guessing because you don't have a definitive thought, or do you have a definitive thought but you need validation for it?
no, I gave it definitive when you guys both spit. I gave a definitive thought on it that
I was just off screen. I ain't going away.
okay, that basically that they're without saying that they tuned him out completely, that they made like the players are, you could see it in the way they get together. You could see it in the interviews. You saw it the other night. Last night was it? The interview with Kat and Mitch. You could see it, their brotherhood, the continuity, the glue, the change. And to bring in someone from BK and I don't think that is all that. Even though you need necessary chaos, I don't think he's going to be a team disruptor. I think he's going to be an other team disruptor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the point that we making. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talking about him
So
being disruptive on the floor.
yeah, absolutely. And I think they might have. I'm not saying they fully tuned out the coach, but I am saying that they took matters into their own hands in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's what in the game we call that accountability and
Yeah.
leadership. Like
Yep.
control the things that you can control and don't
Yep.
worry about the stuff that you can control because other people are going to handle that stuff. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the thing. Do your job and let others do their job and trust that everybody doing their job will get the ship headed in the right. Golly, y'all must have were y'all in my team meeting today?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, no,
I
I was
was.
doing a lot of napping.
I was. I was there. I turned into a little fly, and I sat right on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I think it'll be
um
good.
I think clearly the Alvarado edition was something that they felt like they needed so that, and I pointed it out early in the season, I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt like Mikal Bridges being the point of attack defender, it doesn't help our defense. Because when
No,
you got, because Bridges is an average ball handling defender, right? But when you ask him to be an elite wing defender, now you in his wheelhouse, right? Now you in his wheelhouse. That's what I was saying. I said this to Jay, the chosen one, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, right? When you put different style rappers on the same beat, like when you put Tongue Twister and Ludacris on the same beat, you're like, oh my gosh, this might not be, this is gonna be hard. Because one dude's in his bag rapping double time, and the other dude is in his bag rapping halftime. Now, can
yep,
both do either? Yes, but we're talking about them being in their bag, the best version of themselves, right?
yeah, yep,
So
100%.
yeah, so the Alvarado edition, I really feel like, well, first of all, Josh played with him in New Orleans. Like that's one of the things that we can't forget.
I feel like
And
Josh played with a lot of people.
I feel like Josh has played with a lot of people. Josh is
Josh,
that
Josh
might
has
be
been around.
that might be the statement of the decade. Josh played with a lot of people. Like, that is triple entendre. Like that's
Facts.
so, right.
Yeah,
So
Unintentionally, but
yeah,
facts.
unintentionally, no pun intended, right? But I think I think they liked him beforehand, and I think Alvarado may have been the people's choice, right? He may have been like like Josh, if you had anybody in the league that we could get that you feel like we can bring in and help the team, who would it be? And I think Josh is like, man, Alvarado, he from New York, you know what I'm saying? He Puerto Rican, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He's smart. He went to Georgia Tech. You know, he's smart. You know, he mature. He played 4 years of college. You know what I'm saying? He's a young guy. Him and Tyler Kolek are I think they're around the same age, maybe. Seems like Alvarado would be older, but I'll double check. But Alvarado is a young guy, and he's hungry. You know, when you want to win,
Oh,
you play on losing teams for a long time. You're like, so Alvarado is 27.
yeah,
So
he's a lot older than I was thinking.
he's a lot older than So he is around OG's age, something like somewhere in that neighborhood.
You know why you thought he was younger? Because of that necessary chaos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You feel like
yeah.
he should be 21, right?
Feels like he
Like,
should be. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
And
excited
plus,
about the differences.
Kolek could be 25 in March too. So Kolek's not a spring chicken either. So
Yeah, I keep forgetting. With 5 years of college, like it was 4 with one, but he also played with another squad. Another team. So don't forget that. And then the year where he really didn't play and he absorbed all that. I think there's certain people that cannot go, and that's why they're not put into trade talks. You never hear about them in trade talks. Maybe once in a blue, if it's you know. I mean, let's be honest. Did you feel like I had at all 0% chance that Giannis was coming over here? So I didn't feel it. I just didn't. It didn't make sense. He's out supposedly for a month and a half. It just didn't make sense. Why are we gonna lose our best whoever? Just didn't make sense. Not yet. That could be a next year thing, but not yet. You know, it's not. It's not. And it's just not. It's just different. You know, it's not what the team necessarily needed. I thought the team needed more of um, like I said before, more of a Siakam, Triple J, you know, type of player than they did, to be honest. However, I am okay with who we have now.
What would that player do in Mike Brown schemes?
Not listen to him and just get busy with the rest of the fellas. But if you want a more professional answer, I think that Mike Brown is more comfortable with players like that.
Okay.
I don't truly think he's comfortable in the pace. Like, we're not comfortable with his pace, so we kind of disregard it, and he's not so comfortable coaching a team like we have. However, he must have some sort of schemes and relationship with them, right? Because it doesn't seem like it's really it's negative or anything like that. But he's not an impact coach to me. You know,
In terms of the player though, that archetype of player, like what are you asking that player to do if Leon Rose was to get him though? I just want to follow along. The reason why I'm asking.
Be himself. Like, do what he does. Like, you know, space the floor. You know, be involved. You know, become part of the glue. You know, when Mitch is in, I really would love to have seen somebody like a Triple J next to Mitch rather than Towns, even though that sounds crazy. I think it would have been fun next to both of them, to be honest. Next to both of them. But Mitch makes people like him or like Randall, even though Triple J was I think a better defender than Randall. Not think he was a better two-way player. I think that his numbers would have went up playing next to Mitch. So now you got a guy who's, you know, more helpful on that side. Plus, he's defending a lot of people that maybe Towns can't defend. You know, stuff like that. So in those schemes, I would see him going back and mid-ranging, you know, getting underneath Mitch, setting picks. He's hitting the whole bone. You know, but the thing is, we don't have it, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a
No,
thought.
it matters to the conversation though, because
Oh yeah,
if you're like, because if in your mind they need that type of, or not need, but it seems like a better fit by having that type player, then the conversation is not over because the trade deadline passed. Remember, you still have your roster, right? You still have the buyout market. You still have guys on two ways, right? So while you may not be able to get the premium of the archetype that you're looking for, you may be able to get the discounted version of the player that you're looking for. Is the reason why I asked the question, is it attainable? Basically, in my mind, I'm thinking like, because here's the thing, and don't take this in a disrespectful way. This is me breaking down the statement.
People say that. All
Huh?
right, I won't. I love when people say that. I won't. I
Because they
won't
about to
take it.
get disrespectful.
Right. That's how it is.
Yeah,
Listen, I don't mean to be mean, but
yeah, that's when you're dealing with narcissists and egomaniacs. The
yeah,
thing is with us, we're here for the chat and people viewing the show. Like, we're not performing, I'm saying, just the three of us. We're here and there's a crowd here watching us. You know what I'm saying? So when I ask, it's not about ego strokes or backhanded disses. This is about like understanding what Jay is asking or saying so that we can participate and maybe help get to that place that you're speaking about, right?
yeah,
My thing is when I hear you say that, what comes to mind is an athletic jumbo wing
mm-hmm,
that provides weak side rim protection when Mitch and Cat get drawn up into actions, that on offense can score around the rim a little bit bouncy, and if they're wide open, can knock down threes, right? Right.
yep,
And that's the reason why I think you said Jaren Jackson Jr. specifically, because he's probably one of the best versions of that guy, right?
right. That was the archetype. That was the type that I was looking for. Whether he was available or not, I would love to have grabbed him for a
Right.
Bridges or something like that. Like if that's what it took, whatever it took. But yes, I use a very very interesting word, need. I still think so. I understand now your point.
Oh, it was a question and not a
Yeah,
point.
well, I understand your question, but you pointed out something in the question to me about my response. I still think we need it. So,
Okay.
so now we might have it, and his name might be Diawara, but if there's a player to be gotten, and there's going to be some names in that pile this year, I'm very interested to see the next move. You're right. It might not be that level. It's like it might not be that level, but
It
it
might be
seems
it may be a
everybody
it may
wants
be
to
a
get out.
player. It may be a player from like I mentioned, it may be a player off the buyout market, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Right.
might be, you know, it may be a player off the buyout market, like something that's slightly cheaper where, but at the same time, in the buyout market, those players are not here to stay, right? Trowborough Gigolo in the building, salute. Like if you get a player off the buyout market, that player is going to be here 40 or 50 games max.
Do we have any idea who's in the buyout market?
That fits the archetype that Jay mentioned.
No, I mean, do we know if any players of value are in the buyout market? I mean, the only name I heard so far that piqued my interest was DeMar DeRozan, but who else is in the buyout market
Cam Thomas.
from the Nets?
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Yep.
Yeah.
the
He's
Nets
in
got
the
rid of Cam Thomas?
Yep.
I hear
They waived
that.
him.
Wow,
They waived him. But
wow.
a popular name amongst Knicks fans is Chris Boucher.
Yep. I
The
heard that.
the 6'9", the skinny 6'9" guy. He
Toronto kid.
in a weird world, in bizarro world. So here's the thing: Chris Boucher has guard skills, but thinks he's a big man. So
Mm-hmm.
he's about 6'9", about 210, about 31 years old,
Yep.
and he is skinny, is all outdoors, but for some reason he plays bigger than what his frame should allow.
Okay.
Toronto
Like
used to
Josh.
use him at center,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Toronto used to use him at center when what's
And
his
he
face
used
would
to
come out,
enjoy it.
So he
and
basically,
loved it.
you know, I don't want to say low budget, but he basically a Josh Hart type.
He's bigger than Josh. He's like more like he's like
He's about
an
Pacom Dadier
older
size.
an older
Okay. Okay.
Diawara, right? Would you say that, Freeze? Like an older Diawara type player, but he doesn't play the same as him.
No.
But
I just meant
he has an identical frame as him. How about
I,
that?
I
They're
just
like
meant
skinny. Good, sorry.
playing bigger than your size when that's Josh Hart. That's all I meant by that.
But he has a
Right.
beautiful stroke from three. A
Yeah, and he plays.
beautiful 3-point stroke. Now, does it always go in? No. Right?
Well,
Anytime
nobody's
that,
shot always goes in, right?
well,
Mine does though.
I mean, what I mean, I'm talking about relative, relative to what you're asking, right?
Yeah,
Like I think he's probably, I know DSJ has been pounding the table for him for years.
yeah, yep.
And if you can bring him in, then now you're talking about kind of in that lane that Jay was talking about, and you didn't have to trade Bridges.
Right, and he is a low budget
I
Triple
mean,
J.
listen, all our guys is marked safe. That's all I'm saying. He's marked
Yeah.
safe from trades. He's
Yeah.
marked safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It, that's why I was asking Jay the question, because can we have a player on the roster develop into that role? Right? Because whether we know it or not, that's the role that Mitch plays when he plays with Cat. Mitch just doesn't shoot the three.
I mean, we had
Right.
ISO Mitch. He might start shooting threes next. Yo.
If I see that, I
Next
swear on
game, Mitch gonna be
everything I
shooting
love.
threes.
If he hits one, I'll lose myself.
Yeah.
I swear
Yeah,
to God, I'll lose myself. You have to come and get me from like some machine asylum. I lose it. Like really. Yeah, like, Mitch
you
just hit a
be
three.
You heard it
like,
here first, yo. Mitch gonna be shooting threes next game.
you be like, he'd be like, palms are sweaty.
Yeah.
Vomit on his sweater
Mom's
already. Mom's
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
Look. I don't want, and my palms a little sweaty now. Oh God. That's how I keep this boy, figure.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I like
asking
that.
you.
I like that. That's a good name. That's an interesting name to throw out in the air because I really feel that, like DeMar DeRozan, like where would he like as good as he is, where does he fit in our lineup that will he was like if he's gonna start, who's he gonna start for? Bridges? Like who's he starting for?
He wouldn't be
You
the
know,
starter if he came here. He wouldn't
maybe
start for us. Who they gonna bench? You think he gonna bench McCall? He might. I
he
doubt it,
might.
but
What are you? He's better than McCann.
Nah, the easy answer is Josh or Deuce.
well, do some
Yeah, well,
start.
Yeah, that's the easy answer.
So you gonna
right.
sit Josh for DeMar? Listen, his mid range game is what we're
Yeah,
missing on a basketball court.
right. I mean, this guy is And you got to remember this too: is like a lot of these players that Priya's name have played with a lot of people on our team.
But
But
we also go ahead. I'm
so
sorry, Jay. I thought you was finished.
no, like when you bring a DeMar DeRozan over here, because they're obviously cleaning house over there, right? They don't want to. They're breaking up the squad. You bring them over here,
Again?
of course. If yeah, all right, always if he comes over here, I feel like it's an automatic start. He's an automatic starter. You don't bring him over here to sit on to come off the bench. Though that would be incredible, right? You got a team that DeMar DeRozan comes off the bench for? Wow. But I do agree. It would be for Hart. It would be for your lineup. Your lineup would be this. Your lineup would be JB, Bridges, DeMar, OG, Cat. Think about that.
I'm thinking about it, but we all know how Josh feel about coming off that bench.
Can I offer you a Chris Middleton?
Nah, 5 years ago.
Can I offer you a Mike Conley, Lonzo Ball, Chris Paul?
I think
No,
I don't want Lonzo Ball, yo.
no, and Chris Paul. Maybe for my insurance. Um, but no.
He ain't work out in Cleveland. He ain't gonna work out in New York.
Yeah, no way. Um, the first name still has me kind of a little smitten. I won't lie to you. Chris Shea, smart. That's good. That's a good first start move.
It's the reason
Call
why
it.
we dive deeper in these conversations, bro.
Call Leon
Yeah,
up, yo. Let's get
Yeah.
this barrel rolling.
yeah.
Let's
He
do it.
played with. Yeah, listen, he played side by side with OG. So if he gets on the court with OG, they got symmetry.
And neither one of them talk.
Right, right,
Trevor with
right. And
Lonzo.
both laugh funny. Go ahead. I'm
DeMar
sorry.
DeRozan gonna be in the buyout market. They buying him out, Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about the buyout market real quick before we keep going. When the buyout market happens, we can sign them at league minimum.
I think that's how that works.
I don't
That's what,
remember. I know
Be-
that's what I
earlier
thought.
today, I want to say I was listening to Fritz earlier, and they were talking about that the buyout market. We can sign them for league minimum because we getting them at a prorated like price. We're not paying for the whole like whatever the league minimum is $2 million because it's only like 40 games or whatever left. We getting them at a
right.
prorated price, so we ain't got to pay the whole 2 million. We just got to be able to cover whatever the rest of the salary is. So
Salary
yeah.
is. Right.
Also, you can forget it. We don't got money.
No, we got the money. That's what I'm saying. We don't need the whole 2 million. We need whatever the prorated price is for the player, so we can afford this.
900,000, whatever that is.
Right, we can afford to sign any player to the league minimum going to
Oh,
whatever.
I see what
Right.
you're saying. I took that as
So
we
it's
had to
not, yeah, it's not
pay.
money. It ain't a money thing. You just gotta
Okay,
one of these guys gotta want to sign for that. I mean, if they in the buyout market, you
but
know.
they're in the buyout market. Do they have much choice?
Right, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
that?
If you're in the buyout market, I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's thing is different, but yeah, if you're in the buyout market and you got an opportunity to run with a team that's trying to get a chip, why not? I would do it.
I'm telling you right now, I promise you that a lot of teams, a lot of guys in that buyout are eyeballing New York City, and it ain't for Brooklyn. I
Right.
promise you that, right? But there might be some people in there. It's
Not just
not
us,
always
Detroit,
right, right. It's not just us,
Orlando,
Lakers, not just us.
Boston,
Right.
Yep.
LA.
But I promise you, they're looking our way too. I
Denver,
promise you that.
right?
You know,
Oh,
so
Shoot.
it depends. I mean, look, if they heard that lineup, what I just said, I think you get a guy like that. And you said 40 games. So the buyout market, when you get in the buyout market, they can't run in the playoffs.
I don't know.
I
That
think
I
he
don't know.
can. I think if you give them a guaranteed roster spot, they play in the playoffs,
Right,
right? It's just players after a certain day of the year, they're not eligible for the playoffs.
right. And the 40-day guys on it.
Yeah, and we say 40 days, but it may be more or less. But we're talking about
The two way.
because
The two way.
here's the thing. You don't have to pay a certain thing because they've already been paid that money, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like if they came into the season making 30 million, right? And they've played 50 games, 50 games with the game checks have already been dispensed. Like, and so, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure there's a cap on what we can sign because you can't go over certain things, but
But it is
right,
interesting that Leon Rose was smart enough not to trade away assets for a guy that they project may be on the buyout market and just wait for them to get
right,
waived and then pick them up.
right,
In my opinion, is a smart move.
right, right. Because you don't have to lose anything to get something.
In my opinion, everything they've done so far seems brilliant. It's sneaky brilliant. And there might be some moves where you go, what? Or but it's sneaky smart.
Right.
Like I said, I never saw Giannis really coming here, especially after the injury. I think that really for me, it put the nail in it. Um, when I say I never saw him coming here, that would be untrue. It would be possible, for him to come here, especially during that losing streak, and everybody was down on Cat and stuff like that. That was the only time I really felt, oh man, this might really be a thing. You know what I'm saying? But um, once he got hurt, from that point on, I never felt like that was a thing.
Who you talking about,
Now,
Giannis?
mm-hmm.
I told y'all yesterday he wasn't going nowhere. Who I told
Yeah,
y'all?
but I knew that from the moment he got hurt. The moment he got hurt, there was no way we were going to get him. No way. It'd be silly.
Right. I had a sense that from a business standpoint, Milwaukee can still sell Giannis jerseys. That's what they make their bread at, right? Like
Yeah.
legit, nobody is gonna start buying AJ Green jerseys all of a sudden. They
I don't
need a
even think
market.
they're buying Turner.
Yeah,
They're not even
Nobody's
buying
buying a
Turner.
Miles Turner jersey, right?
Nope.
So,
I'll
Nope.
take my Turner. He could come be a Nick.
right.
Now that's funny. That's somebody that I actually, in my mind, did have a thought for a second that they might try to make a couple moves for some bigger guys like that, like Miles Turner, a Portis, or something like that. But I'll be happy. Anybody 6'9", 6'10" could play, shoot, play some defense.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the Knicks played the Detroit Pistons tonight. And the Pistons lost tonight to the Washington Wizards.
Without Sar.
Right. And I don't know. And I don't know if the Pistons were looking ahead to the Knicks,
That's exactly how I felt.
or, or if the schedule is starting to catch up to teams. Right.
I
Because
mean,
the schedule can be a mother. Right.
they
If the Knicks
Yep.
beat the Pistons, that means the Pistons would have lost 2 in a row. If the
Mhm.
Pistons win 2 in a row, how comfortable are y'all with thinking the Knicks can catch the Pistons and be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and
I
stay there?
raised it.
I mean, there's a lot of basketball left to play, but that's not even in my mindset. And I'm like, I don't even care. I just want the Knicks to play good basketball. If we the 1 seed, the 2 seed, you know, it doesn't matter to me. I would like to be the 1 seed, but I just want them to play good basketball, whether we catch them or not. We didn't catch Cleveland. We didn't catch Boston. Like it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I think we're the best team in the East.
Okay.
And I think by the end of this year, our position will say so.
Okay.
Say it with
I
your
think
chest.
that's right. 1000%. And that's for several reasons. We're just built different. We're older, a little more seasoned. Even though we're young as a team, we got some seasoned people in there. And as good as Detroit is, would you compare Detroit to the when Boston is fully healthy, the team that we made ourselves to beat? Because remember, we built this team to beat Boston, and all of a sudden, the Cleveland popped up,
Right. Yep.
and you saw 2 things happen. We beat Boston, and I know Tatum went out, but we were already won the other ones, and Cleveland dropped out quick. Paper, first place people.
Okay.
So I'm not calling Detroit that. I think Detroit is way more, got some more like thoroughbred in them than Cleveland did. But I
Right, they're
think,
a tough squad. They built
yeah,
a little different.
definitely they're built different than 1000%. They're Detroit. Look,
See my
Cleveland's a tough town. It's and I've been in and around there. Also been in Detroit. It's nothing like Detroit, right? You expect certain things out of different areas. As much as people think New York is super gritty, there's a lot of places that are much more gritty than New York.
all of
But
it, all of
our
Detroit. Like it's
right,
all of Detroit.
right, right,
But
right.
my thing with the
Baltimore,
my thing with the
Chicago. Yeah.
Pistons is
right,
I
exactly.
think that they're fixated on beating us. And I
Yep,
think that may be their downfall.
yep,
I don't think that their goal is to, and I think everybody's goal is to win a championship, right? But in their minds, they just want to beat the Knicks.
yep. Remember, they got some revenge in their blood too. So, you know, you ever see the Karate Kid and he gets in that crane position, right? And in my head, I'm going, if anybody ever did that to me, man, I am, I'm sweeping out the one leg that's still standing, right? That's it.
Right.
I don't know about whether you ran into his foot like that. I know it's a movie. I think that's them. They're standing in that we're standing in that position, and they're gonna come running into our foot.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Right. I don't want to do it. I can do it. I can beat it. You heard what I said. Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Johnny runs in there. What a great series. I watched the whole series with my kids. But I'll tell you this. I think that we are Daniel LaRusso with thuggery in the crane position, waiting for them to come running at us so we can kick them right in the mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last time we played Detroit, we were amped up, and Detroit put us in a car wash.
The fans were amped up though.
Yeah.
The fans were amped up, and I think that the Knicks were just trying to still figure out Mike Brown's system, and they weren't. I don't think they took the game as serious as Detroit. Detroit really wants to beat us every time.
Detroit came out with
they
that
got
size 12 Timberland from the
right.
rip.
They like, yo, we here. And Knicks was like, all right, see you later. Like, all right, y'all want to see you later.
Right.
Now,
Right.
like they have a chip on their shoulder, like, yeah, I'm mad at us for what? Leave me alone.
Speaking of which,
they mad that we beat them while they were holding our jersey and our shorts and elbowing and doing everything they could.
Every game that we played their style of basketball and won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine we played hours.
Right.
Could have swept them. But we didn't have that type of we were just like, all right. Which is fine with me, which I'm okay with. You want to get gritty? Let's get gritty.
And I don't put no real stock in these regular season games. See me in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Last year we didn't beat one good team. Like we lost all our games to Boston. We lost all our games to Cleveland. We lost to everybody. And in the playoffs, none of that mattered. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna share a thing with y'all just real quick. Somebody that I kind of rock with a little bit. I'm gonna send him a little note with y'all looking. Let me see how you work this thing. Let me see. I wanna post something to my man.
Yes, and the wrong dude.
To my man King. Yeah, so let me see. I need to send him a message.
Give me a microphone. I'm totally fine. Put me on one of those. We might be. He might get bills in the mail. Like, I ordered how many pairs of sneakers?
Right. I want to send my guy a little something. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna do it live on the show. Y'all see, yo, listen. I'm just gonna say something. LOL. The Wizards, bruh. See,
You sound like a kid on Christmas.
Yeah, man. Yo, I put so this is they have a strong Pistons following. I rock with them dudes. At some point last year, didn't have time this year, but yeah, I'm just gonna LOL the Wizards, bro. See y'all tomorrow. I'm just.
Oh, hold on. Let me put my face in there. Hold on. Let me get in there. Yeah,
man. So I already know the Pistons chat gonna be crazy when they see that. I already know by the time I go to sleep and wake up, it's gonna be bananas in there. So,
oh man,
I should have said stick to hip hop, but wait, y'all second in that too. I should put.
Yo, put another one. Yeah, do another one. To put that in there.
Yeah. I already know that's gonna be crazy, bro.
You could do something like stick to Motown,
Yeah, or something. Just
and
something.
that
But
way, right? Can that way they'll have a little victory in their heart.
yeah, man.
You
So
know. Oh, you
I'm
know
up.
what because I'm gonna do this. I promise you this. I'm gonna post. Even Malik Beasley is betting on us tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what? You know what?
I'm dirty. I'm sorry. I'm dirty like that.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say that
Write
one
that down.
of our said even Malik Beasley is betting on the Knicks
To win.
Oh, you know,
Fat
not just to win, but to beat the Pistons.
beat the piss out of them. No, don't. You don't have to make it vulgar. Just beat the Pistons.
Nah, these are good guys, bro. I ain't gonna. Yeah, I ain't
Yeah. I don't even. Yeah, that was perfect enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little short thing. I'm posting it everywhere. Listen, even Malik Beasley is betting on the Knicks.
Right.
Malik Beasley, that's a good one. I'm glad you sent it to him. That is awesome.
Yeah, man. I
Awesome.
have a different thing. I'll say this just real quick about the Pistons game.
After that, I want to
There are
ask you.
certain teams that when we play them, like, because the thing is I'm looking at April, and I would rather be playing the worst play-in team in the first round, because by the time we get to the second round, it's all going to be about everybody's got a star, everybody's playing good basketball, all these teams are good, right? And so it's one of them, you know, one of them things where it's like I want to try to get to the easiest road possible when the playoffs start so that we can be rested. So some of the worries that we have during the course of the season, i.e., for instance, the rotation is too short, man. These guys are tired. I'd like to get at least 2 easy matchups in the playoffs so that we'll be full strength in the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals. That's my thought. Like, do your work early so you won't have to do your work later. Basically, is where I am now. And I know when I say that to 100 people and 99 people disagree with me, right? It's always, man, don't put the pedal to the metal, man. Just be healthy when the playoffs start. That's what my brother Free Keith tell me all the time. Like, bro, don't get wrapped up in these matchups, these 1 games out of 82 that don't make, you know what I'm saying? We just need to be healthy in the playoffs. Get Mitch and everybody to the playoffs healthy, right?
Yep.
I would prefer to do your work early, and then that way when the playoffs start, we can face off with the Charlotte, and then face off, because y'all know every year in the first round somebody's going to get upset, right? Somebody's going to get upset in the first round. There's always going to be a matchup where you're like, dang, the Miami Heat beat the Bucks. Remember the year Miami beat the Bucks, and we were like, oh snap, we going to the finals, and then we mess around and lost to Miami, and Miami went all the way to the finals and lost to Denver. Yeah, remember that? The year that remember the year we housed Denver, and we lost to Miami, and we watched Miami lose to the Denver Nuggets when we felt like that should have been us because we was killing Denver all year.
Right.
We beat them by 30 something that first game.
Yeah, and that's the game Jokic got the black eye in the Garden. Remember that? He had the big shiner on his eye. Yeah. So
had the hamburger.
One
And
thing
by
I'll
the
say,
way, Duran left the game. By the way, you know that, right?
yeah, I saw that in the chat. I didn't watch the game. I didn't have that update, but yeah,
They still should have beat them.
yeah,
They still should have beat them. We played
Right,
without
right.
Josh and Juice. They still should have beat them.
yeah,
Yeah, especially without their little star up and coming center.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling
I
you,
mean,
Washington is trying to quietly build something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Josh playing? So ESPN has even with that, ESPN has Detroit winning in a coin flip. Like it's 59. I mean, basically 50.5% to 49.5%. So it's a coin flip.
Okay.
Cat is day to day. On the injury report is Cat with the eye. Josh Hart is a game time decision with an ankle. OG game time decision with a toe. Deuce is out, and Jose Alvarado is a game time decision. And so Detroit has Tobias Harris out, Dario Saric out, and some dude Tolu Smith out, and Jalen Duran is a game time decision with a knee injury.
He probably not gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would really love to have this game.
Me too.
I would
Bad.
really love to have this game. I would really love to have a 10-game win streak going into Indiana next week.
Oh my God, please.
I would really love to. I would really love to see Stephen A. Smith be like, I love the Knicks. Y'all know how Stephen A. Smith always jump on the bandwagon when the Knicks are hot. When the Knicks are hot, he jump on the bandwagon. Him and Spike Lee start doing credit card commercials together. When the Knicks
As soon
are
as
hot,
they lose one game, he talk about how trash they are.
yeah,
Smith
he a
is the
Lakers
worst,
fan.
yo.
Yeah.
I can't. You know what? I used to love that show with him and Skip. Stephen A. Smith turns my stomach now.
Yeah.
When we're losing, he's from some. He ain't even from New York no more. You know? When we're winning, you know, I was raised in Queens. I still go out to Queens. I'm out this. Come on, which one is it? Which one is it?
Yo, look who in the chat. Uncle Fulio is in the chat. Man, Uncle Fulio in the chat. Bro, stop dodging the smoke, bro. Uncle Fulio, for those that don't know, is one of the goats of the Knicks content creation space. Uncle Fulio is one of the elders that occupied this Knicks content creation space from a long time ago. And I think Uncle Fulio and I may have drank a beer together like a long, long time ago. Right. But Uncle Fulio has disappeared now that the Knicks are good. So that tells me how Uncle Fulio root for these Knicks. Yeah. I'm trolling Uncle Fulio, but salute, brother. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. And Uncle Fulio, some of the stuff that the last time Uncle Fulio and I hang out together, I can't remember if it was Atlanta, Georgia, or Charlotte, North Carolina, or wherever we watched the game at, right? I told him I had some plans. So Uncle Fulio, all that stuff that I told you about that night came to pass. So yeah. And so I'm hoping the blessings go both ways, man. Salute. So before we wrap up, I just want to pick your minds on a thing. How do y'all feel about the changing of the NBA landscape with so many trades happening and so many teams swapping personnel? Do you feel the same after the trade deadline about the direction of NBA teams as you did before the trade deadline?
You mean the teams that actually made trades? How do I feel about those teams? Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking?
Yep. Yep.
I don't think anybody made enough of an impact trade for me to feel like they've taken a step ahead of us.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I don't see that Harden experiment working out. Um, I like the Boston pickup. That was a good move, and I like what Indiana did too. When what's the dude they got from the Clippers?
Yeah.
I think they
Zubats.
made that move for next season though,
Right. Yeah.
because they tanking. So
Yep, that's enough.
as far as this season, I don't feel like anything that was done is going to be a hindrance to us. But I do think that next season there's some moves that were made that are gonna put a rock in our shoe. The East is gonna be pretty good next year. Like there's a lot of teams that are gearing up. They made some pretty good moves, but not none that are like hurt us now. At least that's the way I feel.
Uncle Fulio says, "Oh snap! Oh my bad, bro. Hey, I gotta call you. Uncle Fulio, I'll call you at some point, man. We just got a lot of stuff going on. I'll call you, bro. But yeah, he said it happened in Charlotte. So yeah, in Charlotte, bro. Rob the Nick talked us to. Yeah, you right. It was in Charlotte because that's when so Tardy, true story, right? True story. The guy's walking around and I'm doing stuff in Charlotte that day. I'm just moving about, seeing people. And they like, yo, where you at? I'm like, yo, I'm on the way, man. They like, the game started at 7. I'm like, the game started at 7? I thought it was 7:30. So anyway, I'm driving around trying to hurry up to find a parking spot. And I'm leaving the parking garage because I'm in the wrong parking garage, right? So and then I hear somebody go, yo! And it's like J Boogie walking in front of the car. Like, you know how the sidewalk is, like you coming out the parking garage?
Mm-hmm.
And it's J Boogie. It's J Boogie and Uncle Fulio and them. And J Boogie start going around town talking about, yo, man, this big red dude trying to run us over with a spaceship. And I'm like, J Boogie, it's not a spaceship, bro, for one, right? It's a car, right? But the reason, that's the night, that's the night we met Muggsy Bogues, right? Yeah, that's the night, the night we met Muggsy Bogues. As a matter of fact, we also met Divine that night. So we met Divine. I think that's the night we met Divine at Spectrum. So it might have been I get all these things mixed up, but I think that's the night we met Divine. Stephadon, rest in peace. We just had a good time. Rob the Nick, Tory B, it was about 40 degrees. It was about 40 degrees. And Rob the Nick would not let us go home. It was 40 degrees and drizzle rain, right? And we out on a street corner at a bar in Charlotte, North Carolina, sitting on these wet iron chairs, drinking beers because Rob the Nick want to talk to me about quitting Grimes. I'm like,
no, we'd have had to go inside or I'd have had to leave. Like, sir, it's raining. Goodbye.
Be a man, bro.
No, absolutely not. Be a man and have pneumonia. Do you, bro? I'm out of here.
We had so many beers. I forgot where the car was at. Like, Rob the Nick legit got me sitting out in the rain drinking $8 beers in the drizzling rain on a Friday night in Charlotte, North Carolina. But anyway, that's how, you know what I'm saying, that's like the Knicks part of that stuff. Like a lot of us get on the road and hit up like Memphis and Atlanta and Orlando and DC and Charlotte and all these places to go watch our team take over somebody arena. I mean, we had such great times doing that, man. But back on the point though, I just and I'm sorry about getting distracted, y'all. I saw one of the greatest content creators to ever do it, man, Uncle Fulio, in the chat. So I just had to, you know what I'm saying, salute Uncle Fulio for like keeping it a stack over the years with the Knicks stuff, man. It was just, you know what I'm saying, just good seeing them. And then, bro, I'm gonna try to call you, man. Give me some grace because I gotta work tomorrow. There's a game tomorrow, and we got producer interviews tomorrow and a bunch of different Lawrence Tier stuff going on. So then we got the Mets channel up and running. Saturday's probably some Echo and Essence. Well, I have to, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of stuff going on, man. But I'm gonna try my best to hit you up. At least at a minimum, I'm gonna try to shoot you a text message, man. Shoot you a text so we can chop it up a little bit. So, but Jay, how you feel about, just getting back on the topic real quick before we wrap? Are you the same? Are you in the middle ground between me and Tori B when it comes to Knicks in first place? Because you may have said your answer, and I'm sorry about being distracted, but
I thought the last question that you asked was, did I feel a certain way about any of the teams with the trades?
Yeah. That is the last question. Yeah.
I know right now you're in nostalgia land. So with Uncle Fulio and reminiscing, and I've been there before. So and listen, I totally get it. So you should and it's a great place to be, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, my answer is not far off from what my sister said. That, you know, I'll say two things. One, a few people made some real interesting moves. You know, I don't know if he's gonna make a big deal or not, but like Porzingis and Golden State and things like that. But as far as people like in our division stuff, like I don't know, like I don't know what's wrong with like Brooklyn. Like, why you letting go of Cam? Like things like that, I can't understand. But I'm just zoned in on the Knicks. I'm zoned in on the Knicks right now, and I didn't see anybody who, like, for instance, Philadelphia lost today to the Lakers right before I got on. That's why I was a little bit late, because I put a little bit on it, and thanks to a free throw, I cracked it again. So I'm not really worried about that. And as far as first place, that's when she said, you know, I'm not quite sure what you said. Say it with your chest. Is that what you said, La?
Mm-hmm.
I said we're gonna be by the end of the year, we will be number one in the East, which will then allow us that rest and preparation. I feel good about our team. I really do. Whoever's hurt, whoever's not, I like where we are right now. And we will lose one day. This ain't 2K. This, you know what I'm saying? We're on a nice run. But tonight's game is really important to me. So that's where I'm at. And go ahead and beat Detroit. And I'll be feeling like Chris, that's myself. Pie in the sky. And I believe we will. I believe we will.
I'm in the mindset that Charlotte beat Houston. Charlotte is okay. And
Charlotte
back
on
up,
a 7-game win streak.
Yeah. So how I feel about
they get
where we are is post trade deadline is this. Teams made moves, right? Some significant, some minor, right? I think when you do that, you set yourself up for that honeymoon period of trying to gel and adjust to the new pieces, right? I think Boston's going to go through that. I think Detroit's going to go through that a little bit. And I think in that window of teams adjusting with their new pieces is the perfect time for the Knicks to put the pedal to the metal and go. Because what the Knicks did is the Knicks are basically plugging in a new acquisition into the same role as an injured guy was in. So while the jersey is different, the player looks different. You're basically putting a player in the same role, basically, in theory, right? Yep. Now, I think so. There is there's less of a acclimation period for the Knicks, but when you made wholesale changes to your roster, like Detroit did, and Boston did, and teams behind us did, I think there is going to be that 7 to 10 game window where there's an adjustment. And so a team may lose a game that they normally wouldn't lose, but you won't be able to make that up in the standings. So what I would say, if you're the Knicks, this is the time right here, right? Like teams are trying to figure it out. Teams are playing through injuries. Players are tired. The All-Star break is coming up. Like all these different factors, right? Would be basically is letting me know this is the perfect time to kind of get into go mode. I think they're in go mode right now, but what I mean is while Detroit they didn't do a roster shakeup, but they traded away Jaden Ivey. They brought in a guy. Their perimeter defense is going to look a little bit different. They brought in more shooting and less athleticism. I think Boston is going to have to learn how to play with a big that Cat usually absolutely destroys in matchups. So they went out and got a offensive and rebounding center that's not a great defender, that's a little heavy-footed, that Cat is just going to take off the dribble. Like, I legit see Vucevic is the player that Cat needs to get right. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Cat go off for like 30 and 20 in that Celtics game, just off the matchup alone. And if they double bring guys, then I think the other guys, the other guys surrounding him will also get off, right? It'd be like pick your poison, so to speak. In terms of long-term heading into, or not very long-term, but kind of a little in the intermediate term, like all the games before the All-Star break, I think this is the perfect time to kind of put the pedal to the metal and then rest during the All-Star break and get ready for this stretch run down the stretch and bring in some guys and all that stuff. So that's my thought on it. My thought on it is new guys in new cities are not just gonna hit the ground running because they have to get used to new systems and new teammates and all that stuff. And when they by the time they figure that out, I think the Knicks will have progressed a little bit in the standings. Now, will they be able to catch Detroit? I don't think so, but will they be close enough to make Detroit uncomfortable? I think so.
Agreed.
The only difference I have in everything you just said is I think we will. Besides that, I'm with you.
Oh. Wait a minute. So we're not arguing? What's going on?
Nah,
So we gotta be like our Knicks, yo.
Like
One band.
Mary, we ain't gonna.
right.
We gotta be
We
like our
ain't
Knicks
gonna-
tonight. One band, one sound, yo. Let's go.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Continuity, man. Well, hey, chat, thank you everybody for coming through. It was great to see some of the new people in the chat, man. If y'all like what y'all hearing, if y'all like to contribute to stuff like this, man, y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. For all the old homies, man, good to see y'all, man. Back at it, we still here. It's just like nothing's ever changed, man. Appreciate y'all being here, coming through. Man, Jay, listen, Jay the Chosen One be talking Mets on this Mets channel we got. So he and I are doing shows and then doing a joint together. And yo, for all the Mets crowd over there, bruh, hey, I got to come. I got to get over there and check out some Mets talk. And somebody's been putting a big earworm size bug in my ear about also doing a Yankees channel. And I don't know if we have the resources to do it, like to commit to it. But if you like Yankees and stuff, man, we'll see. We'll see. But let's go Mets. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Mets.
We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. And just going to say this before I get out of here. Christian Scott's going to win the Cy Young. Peace, everybody.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest and storing what gets me from A to B. Just